Yeah, let's get to the list that I think is kind of cool, but you might feel differently about it since you have to live this. There's a banned list.
Yes.
Put out by the government.
Correct.
The president.
Literally.
12 names. Hey, these people are problematic.
Correct.
Do something with them. Put them in the laundry room. Right?
Absolutely.
So you're on this list along with who?
Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Dr. Sherry Tenpenny, Dr. Rashid Buttar. Notice how I'm saying doctor. These are all professionals, heavy professionals, and roughly 8 others. And these are the people who they said collectively we have influence of roughly 65 to 70% of influence across the entire internet on the planet as it pertains to the virus and the injections.
Who put you on this list?
The United States government, literally.
Oh, it was like an individual.
No, they looked at the influence of each individual person, and they said they analyzed over 812,000 posts between Facebook and Instagram, and they said the top names of influence that are getting the most interaction, the most likes, etc., shares, happen to be myself and 11 others. So they said these 12 people are the most dangerous across the internet. They call us the disinformation dozen. And mind you, this came out, I believe, early last year, February, March of 2021. And so far, virtually every single thing that we have said was going to happen has happened. So that's why now they're kind of trying to figure out how to get out of this, because you removed all of our platforms. That just makes it very clear. I was reaching 15 to 18 million people a week. I think it's very clear. Over 500,000 followers on Instagram.
Oh, no, I'm trusting the government's math on why y'all should be on
Absolutely. They do the math.
Yeah,
they do the math.
They know the ground y'all cover.
Absolutely.
We just briefly talked about it. I think it's Supreme Court now. There are 3 lawsuits regarding internet creators, essentially, and that's one of them. People getting pulled down for misinformation.
Correct. Because they started to pull down people that it made no sense why they would pull this person down or this group down. It didn't make any sense because none of the science added up. I mean, literally, none of it. And as a matter of fact, everything we said was going to happen, it came out, like I said, over 500,000 followers on Facebook, over 120,000 followers on, over 500,000 followers on Instagram. I had over 120,000 on Facebook, 149,000 subscribers on YouTube, 55,200 on Twitter. Collectively, I was reaching 15 to 18 million people a week. And so they shut all of that down, which, of course, if you make money, for example, or do business online, that's devastating to your income. Right? But, of course, I don't do it for that as my primary thing, but that is a part of the source of income. So it did affect, your brother, and that's how they do it. If you talk, they want to destroy.
Turn your water off.
Turn your water off, cut the finances. But, again, we're still here. We're still doing it. I'm on page number 8 as of right now.
I was about to ask you how many. I followed about 5 of them, yo. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. When he first like introduced your platform to me, he was like, "Yo, they keep banning them."
Yeah.
So here's the page right here.
I was on page 5 or 6.
He was like, "Yo, but you gotta follow because they're gonna ban it. They keep banning his pages."
So that's the government saying this is the list of people that be on bullshit.
No, that's the government saying this is the list of people that are a threat to us,
pointing out our bullshit.
Yeah, threat to them. The people who you should be listening to, but we don't want you to listen to them because what they're saying destroys our bottom line.
Yeah.
All right, truly the kind of peace in war times. We just listened to Rizza take pride in being labeled part of what's called the 12 disinformation doesn't. All right, which is these individuals right here. You got Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Sherry Tenpenny, Joseph McCullough, Rizza Islam. I don't know who made this, but it's crazy because they got X's on these two for some reason. Ty and Charlene Bollinger, Kevin Jenkins, Rashid Butter, Christian Northup, Ben Tapper, Kelly Brogan, she got an X on her, Saya G, Aaron Elizabeth. All right, so he was on the Joe Budden show talking about, you know, how again the narcissist always has to find a way to glorify himself. He want to talk about how many followers, hundreds some thousand followers, you know, this, that, and the third, which is again, that's not what the point of this is. It's not how many digital followers you got in your code. It's about you being grouped up with a bunch of people that they considered was spreading disinformation. All right. What was interesting is that this brother here, Dr. Rashid Butter, passed away, I think on the 18th, and he was a doctor. I forgot what type of doctor he was. He was ex-military. He was all over the net around the time the COVID started, and he was putting his 2 cents in about why he felt stuff was wrong, with the juice. All right. And I seen a video today where he was explaining that he had some interview with CNN sometime after that. I think he said he had drunk a little bit of water, so he had let his guard down. They offered him some water. He drank the water, got sick. He said that he was poisoned 200 times worse than the vaccine.
So it's not about the intentions, it's about really what the message is. And I think that if people just remember, you know, that I went through a very difficult personal health challenge a few months. I was in the ICU. I had been poisoned with the 200 times the amount of what's in the vaccinations. And I've said publicly, you know, you'd have to shoot me in the head with lead, i.e. a bullet, because I'm never going to take the vaccine. So I was actually intentionally poisoned. And part of it was, I believe, right before that or right after that CNN interview. But regardless of what happened, the message I want people to know is remember the importance of exercising free will, and then also as a default, as a backup, slow down and remember that God is in control. And that's all you need to worry about. The rest of it, become as self-sustainable as you can. You know, grow your own food. Try to do whatever you can, because the next thing that's going to happen, it's not going to be another pandemic with a virus, because they know that they've used that up and nobody's going to believe it. So now the next thing is going to be climate change, and then it's going to be the currency of the world, and then it's going to be some other emergency.
And he, you know, I seen another video that said that something happened to him, blah, blah, blah. You know, he didn't hurt himself, whatever. So he's gone. All right. Dr. Rashid Butter, rest in power, is with the ancestors now. So now, who's next? You got Mr. Rizza Islam. So I'm pretty sure he's double frantic now. One, the black conscious community knows that he's been scamming, and he's been pushing off his court date the same way Brother Polite been doing the same thing. But they keep forgetting that the court system will take your money and let you keep continuous until a certain time, and after they done bled you enough, they say, okay, time to go. So now we know, according to him and Farrakhan, he got 2 rape allegations on him. All right, one that the audio that Farrakhan had made known, and then he came out and call itself trying to Muhammad Ali around it, and then confirm and said there was a 5-year-old rape allegation. So it's 2 rape allegations. Well, one he really did, and the other one is alleged allegation. But we already know that with his track record of what he was doing over there in California with the World Literacy Program and Narconon and Scientology, and that 3.8 million that him and his family and sister and them stole right from the state of California, he's going to court for that on 6/26/2023. So now one of these doctors done been X'd out. So I know he's extra upset. Now, that being said, we need to focus on, like I told you, if you type in Rizza, Islam, you see he's all over the place. You see he's talking about this and how this started and this came from here, this person is doing that, right? You can just go and just hit play and you hear him just spewing out information on how deep he researches. That's what he told Joe Budden on the podcast. He said he went deeper into the science. All right. But the funny thing is, he should apply that to just more than just these topics. But before we jump into that, we need to look over here. We see Minister Louis Farrakhan is in a picture with Mr. Robert F.K. Jr. All right. And as you can see, he's also on the list. All right. So what we need to do is look at this a little bit more deeper. All right. Let's look at this real quick. Cause see, this the problem that I have with Mr. Rizza, because he does all of this talking about how thorough he is, but he really doesn't do what he's supposed to do. Now look what this say here. It say, who flew on Jeffrey Epstein's Lolita Express plane? Full list of people named. All right, this is put out 12/1/2021 at 9:54 a.m. Let's take a look. It said Donald Trump, Bill Clinton, Kevin Spacey, and more. These are just some of the high-profile figures who allegedly flew in a convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein's notorious Lolita Express private jet. All right, it's not no alleged with Bill Clinton. It's pictures with Bill Clinton on that man's plane, right along with Chris Tucker, who was in Friday and Money Talks and all that. Chris Tucker was over there too. So let's not forget that. Epstein's plane was rightfully called Lolita Express, and I think Lolita means little girl, by certain media outlets following allegations that it was used to fly underage girls to some of the late financiers' properties. The trial of Ghislaine Maxwell is currently ongoing in Manhattan, New York, and the personal pilot of Jeffrey Epstein has given testimony. For nearly 30 years, Larry Vysotsky, Lawrence Paul Vysotsky Jr., piloted the Boeing 727 that reportedly hosted a spate of famous names, which includes Britain's Prince Andrew and numerous U.S. senators. According to the Associated Press, Vysotsky testified that he never saw evidence of sexual activity, you know that's a lie, on planes that he flew Epstein and his high-profile passengers aboard the 2 jets he piloted for roughly 1,000 trips between 1991 and 2019. Vysotsky told the court that he recalled Prince Andrew being a passenger on the jet, as well as actors Kevin Spacey and Chris Tucker. He also remembered violinist Itzhak Perlman and named tech mogul Bill Gates and politician and former astronaut John Glenn. The former Senate Majority Leader George Mitchell was also named by Vysotsky as being a passenger on the Lolita Express. Donald Trump, Bill Gates, Kevin Spacey, and Bill Clinton, Jeffrey Epstein's pilot, named several famous people who he said had traveled aboard the late financier's jet. All right, who flew on Jeffrey Epstein's Lolita Express. They got Donald Trump at the top. Bill Clinton, Kevin Spacey, Chris Tucker, Bill Gates, Prince Andrew, and look, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. So, Mr. Rizza Islam, while you doing all this ripping and running, you forgot to tell the people that you about to go to trial, right? 6/26/2023, right? And all that scamming you was doing, and you got them 2 rape charges on you that didn't go to the police, but by word of mouth, and which is your fiance, who you married now, Farrakhan, and your own admittance. That's 2 rape charges on you. All right. So now you got that going on. One of the 12 that y'all got put up in the spotlight for talking about the juice. This person is gone. So now you on the list. So it ain't too much more you could do. But now to make things worse, you and the Nation of Islam been aligning yourselves with somebody that rode on Epstein's plane. Now let's go a little deeper before you start screaming and hollering that, oh, that's just made up and all that stuff. Let's go a little deeper. Pause. All right, now let's look at this right here, Playboy. Let's look at this real good, Playboy. Don't be stupid, Sean. Robert F. K. Jr. flew on Epstein's jet. He was photographed sitting with Epstein at an event. Ghislaine attended his wife's funeral. He attended an event at Ghislaine's apartment in 2014. All right, so let's click on this. All right, let's make this a little bigger. It says, also on the 1994 Epstein, New Jersey to Palm Beach flight with RFK Jr. is Pat Kane, wife of the former Bear Stearns CEO James Kane, along with other members of the Kane and Kennedy families. All right. So I guess these is their names on the flight log. All right, so let's go to the next slide. All right, so here we see Glenn Close is seen exiting at St. Patrick's Church after the funeral service for Mary Kennedy. This is Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s wife in Bedford, New York on Saturday, May 19, 2012. All right. And look who's right here down here. We're going to get a closer look. Ghislaine Maxwell, which is Epstein's lover. All right. All right, it said here Star Talk Live, Waterworld panel discussion and reception. New York, June 5th. Left to right, UN diplomat Palitha Kohona, Robert F. K. Jr. and Angela Chen attend a reception at Ghislaine Maxwell's residence after Star Talk Live Waterworld panel discussion June 5th, 2014 in New York City. Photographed by Andrew Toth, Getty Images. All right, so we can see. There you go. Then we was a little younger looking. Now let's go a little bit more deeper, sir. All right, so here the logo is also includes a previously undisclosed flight in February 1994 in which a passenger identified as Bobby Kennedy Jr. is listed. So we're gonna look at the picture. Look at this. There you go, right here. So there go Epstein right there, and there go Mr. Kennedy right here. All right, this is what it says over here. Jeffrey Epstein, Mary Richardson, Bobby Kennedy, New York Academy of Art, benefit Manhattan, February 1994. You can't get no better than that, player. So he doing all of this talking, and all of you so-called blogs and researchers and stuff out there, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. You sitting here allowing this jackass to go from panel to panel saying all these things. He done wrapped himself up in a mess because now he got to worry about being X'd off this 12 list, and he got a court date coming up, and he got 2 rapes on him. And they're him and the Nation of Islam and Farrakhan then align themselves once again with somebody that's been hanging out with Jeffrey Epstein, linked to an island that has all types of horror stories linked to it. So I hope you individuals really, really do some real soul searching and stop letting everybody with a nice suit and a smile that kick knowledge, no matter how they dress, really look at their background. These people are criminals and have committed all types of crimes, whether it's sexual or financial, against all types of people. True men to call for peace in war times.